So here's where we left off last time. So last time out, we mostly beat this Tetris block area. There is a thing that gets us back over to the quick track world, which is nice. Just realised I need to move that there. Cool. So in theory, we should be certain to see transition. That's a quick test. Yeah, that's working nicely. I think I want to have a go at spiky circles, but there's also some stuff over in the village that does Tetris blocks. So I think might even let's go and do Tetris blocks first, because I want to start this stream off on a good foot. The last couple of streams it's taken a real long time to get back into the swing of getting my mind into the space of these puzzles. I remember we saw some Tetris blocks puzzles here. Oh, here's one. Oh, hang on, wait, no. Hang on, how would you do that? Wait. You need to rotate that so that's in the corner, but that's not going to work like that. Hang on a second. No, at least that corner. Wait, hang on. Okay, so we should be able to do this one. We should be able to do this one. We know these elements. We know these elements. Right. Okay. So. Here's one that we can do. Now, we're coming out of here, coming out of the gate. That means whichever way we go, we're going to have to loop like that around the other side. So our choices are like that, or we go this way and then we're going to have to loop that way. These corners have to loop like this. Right, they just have to. So how do we draw? So it feels like this has to be there. You can't do that unless you're coming from this direction. So you could do something like that, and like that, and then you'd need to go like this. Go here, here. There we go. That'll do it. That'll do it. Something like that. Ah, no. Because we do need to close it off. We do need to close it off. We forgot that bit. Right, so that doesn't work. So we have to approach this thing from one of the edges of it. But that means it cannot be that way round. Right, it can't be that way round. If you're approaching this thing from an edge, you need to be able to draw out the edge whilst making sure that you do not. So it could go like that. That works. Yeah, because now the only open edge is on the edge, which we know is fine. Alright, nice. So, next. Okay, very similar here. Now, interesting. No, can't do it that way. Could do it that way though. No, we can't. No. That's weird, that was an in-game sound. Okay. Strange, what's going on with my, yeah, no, it is still playing. Well, I hope everyone's having a good Sunday morning, having a good weekend. Having some chill time. This might actually be able to do a shape like that now. Possibly. Not from there though. This is definitely a step up in difficulty, this puzzle. So, starting with where we were before, right, you wouldn't be able to add that one . Wouldn't be able to add that one here in this orientation. So it's definitely not that kind of shape we're looking for. Like, it's almost tempting to try and do something like that, except that leaves this one in a dead-end path. So similarly to before, we have those are necessary. And again, similarly to before, we end up with something like that as being necessary. Now, in the mind of the developers, if it were me, and I'd just done a puzzle that started one way, I'd want my plane to be going the other way. That makes me think that I'm wanting something like this. There we go. Okay, next one. So now, yeah, this is going to be a little bit kinkier, but we can do do something like that. Oh, no, wait. That's on the wrong side of the line then. Not if we need that. Oh, actually. Yeah. There we go. Got it, got it. Great. That's interesting, this one doesn't have a screen around it. Significant? Who knows? I'm sensing that more and more we're going to be making use of drawing this out over on this half of the screen here. This is an interesting one because you can't arrange these so that they're not touching except to put them in opposite corners. So I think they have to touch because you obviously can't have a crossover in the middle. So we are going to be combining these shapes, but you cannot ever have a combined shape that leaves you with a guy in the middle. So whatever we are doing, we cannot have 4 blocks next to each other. Okay. So that means we can't fill that, we can't fill that. So we can do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, except that makes 5 large. Yeah. So we see the conundrum there, right? Can't stick 4 blocks in a square, because then you're never going to get to the centre hex. So you could go end on end, like this. That would work. That would then leave you with a hex at the bottom. So you can do end on end. Then you have a hex here that you need to get to. So that can't be one continuous line. I mean, top and bottom. Yeah, you're similarly going to end up with a problem there. Right, and the end is in a corner, so it's not going to work. By 90 degrees to each other, like this. Does that do anything for us? The difficulty is these sides still need to be in play, right? So you cannot do in a single motion that motion. You can't do this motion in a single motion. Similarly, you removes the problem we had with that one. Right, so the path would end up looking something like this as you trace round it. Yeah, but then you still got the problem with the middle. You still then got the problem with the middle. So we're eliminating possibilities here. We are eliminating possibilities. Problem with something like this is you now have a node that has 3 exit points. And we know that that can't work. Every node must have an even number of exit points unless it's the start or the end. And actually, because you can't cross over your own paths, you're actually limited to 2. It's not even an even number, unless these puzzles end up going like 3D at some point. Oops. I dropped a thing. Sorry, I'm forgetting one of the fundamental rules, obviously, of these shapes. We do not have to draw that. We can combine them together. Ugh, right. How much of my previous analysis was wrong then? So let's write out some options here, yeah? Because this path could just look something along these lines, right? Well, doesn't even need to go all the way to the end. Come on, pay attention, yeah? The difficulty is you've trapped yourself in one half of the thing. So this couldn't actually work, right? Because you've cut yourself off at both these locations. So let's write out some options here, yeah? You've got transverse offset. You have a 90-degree offset. 180-degree offset. You can do 180-degree plus translation. Okay, so you got them the same way. Well, you could in fact literally have no offset. Right? So you got no offset, a transverse offset. You could have a 90-degree offset, a 180-degree offset, a 180-degree plus translation, and I think all the others are just cases of those. So no offset has the pieces looking like this, right? Does that work? You still need this corner here. I'm going to try and not write over my own writing there. Okay, you need this corner here. So you'd need them probably to be over here. Right, because you need that corner. Okay, and you need this corner. Could this work? Well, you cut off the exit by doing that. That's not ideal. And having them the first way around. Cutting off the exit's not a problem because we could flip them upside down. And then, because if we flip them this way up, suddenly suddenly it works, doesn't it? Maybe that took way longer than it should have done to do. I don't know. Maybe I was really pontificating far too long about that. This one, we've got a 3 and a 3. Well, that's an interesting one. Ah, yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, so you can't do that, because that'll make a dead end. Feels like these are going to need to connect to each other. So you can't do it that way. You can't loop round there, because then you can't close it. And that makes a dead end. So it's likely these are going to join together into something like that. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be coming across the top, doesn't it? So something like this. Yeah, something like... Well, yeah, something like that. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. Oh, no, I didn't. Door open? No, stairs down. What have we got? We've got some rock chutes. Oh, turbine. I don't know how to do turbines yet. Never mind. Progress being made. No, no door open yet. I presume the turbine opens the door. But that's cool. Now, I could have sworn there is another puzzle in this area somewhere that I have an inclination how to do now. I don't think any of these are powered on, are they? That cargo crate we know how to do now. There is a cargo container, which probably doesn't have anything in it in fairness, but we should know how to do this now. Yeah, we know how to do this. So that needs to be in its own territory. Easy enough. Tricky. Puzzle? Now hang on, wait a minute. Okay, it did it. What did it do? Possibly nothing? Question mark? Okay. And then... yeah, okay, that's still all locked up. Okay, cool. Yeah, a couple more puzzles down. Aha! Good morning, Mochi-chan! How are you today? We are doing some puzzling in the Witness. I'm now looking for another puzzle to go and do. So I've just done those puzzles there. There are more puzzles around somewhere. Aha, here's one that we can do. Probably. That's sort of an environmental puzzle. That sort of relies on... What's this game? So this game is The Witness. It is a proper puzzle game. If I find a puzzle to go and do, you'll sort of get the idea. But the idea of it is that you are drawing these shapes onto grids, and you are opening doors using them. It's, even though it is here's one, but spiky circles I am not super familiar with. Oh, that one looks hard actually. Spiky circles I need a little bit more experience with before I would tackle a really hard spiky circle problem. Good morning, Nimue. I could have sworn there was some more easier puzzles in this area, or maybe I am thinking about the ones that I just solved. I don't know. Like, there's one here, but I don't know the answer to that one. Oh. We should be able to answer this one, right? Because this one's going to be something like... This one's going to be something like, hey, you're actually in a puzzle. Right? So, 1, 2, 3 blocks. Take a left. 1, 2. There's debris in your way. Go to the other side of the debris. Right, okay. Yeah, so it's this kind of thing. Do you die if you get them wrong? You do not. You do not. There is no failure state to this game, aside from the failure state of being on the internet, not solving problems. So we're going to go forward. 1. Sorry, it's easier to count nodes. Right, we start here. 1, 2, 3. Turn. 1. 1, 2. Sorry, my memory is just bloody terrible. Hang on, where's even the thing that we're supposed to be drawing on? It's very easy. Why not give them all a go? Well, it's just because the possibility space just gets too huge. There's just way too many combinations that you could draw a path through this grid. So like, I mean, you can, but your chances of getting them right are just not possible. Okay, we're gonna write something here. So here is the exit, right? Because the puzzle's on this side of the door. If the door were closed, the door would be on this side. So this must be the exit, and you are walking past, so 1, 2, 3 nodes from the exit. Right, so you're doing... Is it that? So you've got 1, 2, yes, right. And then you're going in and up and over and up. In, up, over, up. And then over and down and over. Do. Oops. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. now I'm at the wall. Right, and then we're going down and in and down. Down, in, down. And then in, down, and then across 2. So I think the answer is that. Let's try that out. Wait. Where's the door gone? Good luck, gonna chat with the fan. Thank you. L for light. This game is not about brute forcing solutions. Yeah, no, absolutely. You can brute force some decisions, like some of them you need to brute force to learn how it works. Oh no, what? Did I get it wrong? Ah, must have noted it down wrong. Wait a minute. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. Oh well, I've definitely got the wrong number of across. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've definitely got the wrong number of across on the bottom. Because it's definitely going out to there. So I've miscounted something. Up 1, over 1, over 2. Okay. So it's, no, give me blue. So it's going there and it's over 2. Because we're ending up on the other side of that thing. And then it's coming up. Okay. I think I just miscounted. Okay, Tetris blocks. We can do Tetris blocks, and that'll get me over there. The first steps of learning is trying to make it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I tell you what, the spiky circles were just real... They were real out there. I think I got them figured out, but the last puzzle's still really hard. We're going to go back there sort of later on this morning and try and get spiky circles done. This idea was to do... Well, let's do some Tetris blocks in the meantime. Because I know Tetris blocks now, so these will be easy. There we go. This is an odd one because it's got 2 exits, but it's symmetric. That kind of feels a bit strange because we've got 3 Tetris blocks. The fact that these two are next to each other and this one isn't feels like it's significant, at least in the mind of the designer. And the fact that there's 2 exits certainly makes it imply that we are... Sorry, let me just turn that down slightly. That's a loud song. Yeah, thank you. No, I haven't increased the music. I think it's just a loud song that's... Do you know what? It's a different album. There we go. Let's get back to the album we were on. Okay, so the fact that we have 2 exits makes it seem like we're looking for first time in it, or are you experiencing the island's ways? So this is session 5. I've done a decent amount of the island, but not all of it by any stretch. But I'm doing some puzzles, like I know Tetris block puzzles. We've done those. But yeah, there are some puzzles in this town that I don't know how to do. So I don't know how to do turbines yet. You know, the symbol with the 3. I don't know if they're called turbines. Spiky circles I'm reasonably happy with, although we've not come across coloured spiky circles before, but I'm assuming that those work in a similar way to the white and black squares. So white and black squares we know. Black hexagons, obviously. Yeah. So we don't know spiky circles too well, and we don't know turbines. Those are probably the big ones that we don't know yet. Okay, so you can't put these end on end because there's only 5 squares that they can go in. So that's simple enough. So that makes me think we are looking for something along the lines of this. Now, to get this one in, so actually it is going to be a shape that all 3 of them have to make. I have a feeling that you learn about them in the quarry. I have found some puzzles in the quarry, and we might go back there this morning as well. But the solution wasn't immediately apparent to me, so we went off in the boat, because we unlocked the boat at the same time. So if we are not looking for something that's symmetric, it feels like it's going to end up something like this, where these 2 edges are offset and then the middle one is sort of doing its own thing. So I'm kind of wondering about something like... so the middle's going to have to be the top one, right? Because it's going to need to loop back. But the thing is, then you end up with a side that you haven't closed. So it might have to go that way first. And we're going to need to encompass both of these. So we might as well try and do something like that. I mean, that seems like a solution that would work. Wait, no. No, wait, yeah. Cool. Quick, get on the... Oh. Aha, right, okay. So this is kind of like the bridge in the Tetris area where you have to do both solutions to get the thing. Well, that's okay then, because this actually is a symmetric solution. So I was wrong with what I said before about looking for a... Oh. Oh, I see. It's moved 1 unit over. Oh, right. Okay. So what you need... Oh, right, okay. So it's moving the distance that I'm telling it to move. The middle one has moved 1 unit up. That's funny. Okay, cool. Well, in that case then, like, that should be even better. Yeah. There we go. Oh dear. It's in the quarry. Cool, thank you. Okay, oh, is this reflection? Yeah, it is, okay. We've done reflection, we've done the reflection laser. So we're gonna end up with something like that. Yep, that's alright. can't wrap around each other like that. And that's not going to cut it either. Oh, interesting, interesting. I can solve this. I can solve this. You kind of got to really resist the temptation, right, to come back to a puzzle that the solution isn't immediately apparent to you on, because you got to keep thinking like, I know black and white squares, I know about territory, I know about reflection puzzles. I've done the reflection later, so there's nothing stopping me finishing this puzzle. Just got to give it some thought. Reflection's a tricky one. So we need to exit out of these, right? Which is a little bit tricky because it means we cannot do that sweep there unless it's as part of sweeping to the end. That's a bit of a tricky one, that. Maybe that's okay. I don't know, it feels like that's actually gonna bump into itself, yes. No, yeah. So the centre and the corner end up in the same territory as each other. It's this one and this one that's the problem. Like, I don't think... the top right-hand corner wants to end up in the bottom right-hand corner. That doesn't feel correct. Because it doesn't feel like there's enough room to wrap around white and exclude black and end up in this bottom corner. Because you've got to wrap over half of the distance to do that. Feels like if you're gonna do that, you want to end up something like that, but obviously with also excluding black. But to do that, you really do need to end up in that corner. I mean, these guys can wrap, but only if they're finishing. So I mean, if they wrap more than half of the way this way, they have to finish in the corner on that side, really, because you can't wrap them so that they loop back round because they crash into each other. Obviously can't do something like that because then you're excluding the other exit. Oh wait, hang on. Oh yeah, okay, I think I got that. that's in the same territory as the middle. And the middle can't be looped around. It's real close to do something like that. That also doesn't work. But doing that would work. Nice. Okay. Thank you, Alpha Light. Okay, so we need a separator there. If we're playing into there, then that has to be the end, but we could be playing out of there. In which case, so two options would be that one or a loop around that one. But if it's a loop around, if it's the latter, then what does that mean? It means that we're doing something in the region of this, which doesn't quite look brilliant. This feels more like it has to come out and then back. Like, let's assume that for now, because that is certainly the more straightforward approach. The reflection ones are really tricky to visualize, actually, aren't they? I've just seen there's also a bloody black hexagon there as well, actually. So we have to approach this one from this side. That is good though, because as this is an end, we're not looping around there, so that is the end. And if that's the end, then that must be an end. Okay. And if that's necessary, then that's necessary. We are very unlikely to want to cut those. So round the top would be sensible. this guy. Yeah, sure. I just, I don't know if it's like the contrast on my monitor, but for some reason on this blue, it might just be my eyes, on this blue background, that black hex is actually quite hard to see. I don't know. Maybe that's just my eyes, in honesty. Okay, so if we have a line going along here, and incidentally, like, this isn't totally for sure, but I cannot see a situation where we want to draw a line separating these two blacks. But this black and this white... Oh, there's a hex. Yeah. I'm going to chalk that up then. If I didn't see it and you didn't see it, I'm going to chalk that up to that's bad UI, but or bad accessibility. I mean, I'm not colorblind, but yeah, black on dark blue is not the coolest. If these lines are a thing, then we ain't getting a line here and we ain't getting a line here, which means that this black and this white are going to be in the same territory unless we add a line there. So, if these are definites, this is almost a definite. So let's draw a strong blue line here. I'm not going to put it as like a definite, because these aren't definites, it's just like, why wouldn't they be? Then like we're going to want to go up here so we get those, and then across here, and then up. Feels like that's a solution. No, what did I do wrong? No, that one was incorrect. Hang on. What did it not like? Could we do it that way? No, we can't. Yeah, okay. Right, need to do a bit of backtracking here then. Because we need to separate these. We need to get this. That's a tricky one. To get this line has to cut across here. But that would mean cutting across there on the reflection, which can't happen if this is correct. Could happen if we are cutting. Okay, new colour time. How does that show up? Yeah, that shows up fine. If that was like that instead, wait, if that's like that, then we would need to separate these two still. Which means either a line here or a line here, and the reason we're cutting that is because we don't want the line there, but we can't do a line there. So you sort of need that, right? But then you kind of need a line there, so that this one and this one get separated from each other. Oh, okay. Have I gone wrong somewhere? Nice one. So Alpha Light, have you beaten this game? Have you played this game before? I mean, I'm guessing you have played this game before, of course. because you know about turbines and stuff and such. But have you beaten this one? Oh, years ago. Nice. I like watching people play puzzle games for the first time that I've beaten, right? So like I've been playing, I played Outer Wilds about 6 months ago, absolutely loved it. Bought it for a bunch of people for Christmas, and I've been watching them play through it, and it is phenomenally entertaining, actually, to be able to kind of vicariously relive the highs, lows, the drama. So far, I have been kind of working on the assumption that I want to get from here to here. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe where I'm trying to get from is from here to here. Because if I draw lines across here, these whites end up together, which seems like a reasonable idea, actually. So let's go back to blue. Because if I do another 2 like that, and then go in, and in again, no, hang on, I need to separate these 2. So let's not go in, let's go down again, and then, no, but I need to separate these 2. Oh my god, this is, Yeah, well this is, so in the first couple of streams I did on this, I didn't have the paint open. I had post-it notes all everywhere and being like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about this. It was terrible. I have got better at the quality of trying to work through my decision making whilst sharing. Okay, so let's go back to previous suppositions, right? Let's go back to previous suppositions, remove those. I think we are pretty happy that that's needed. Sorry, do that in a lighter colour, that's needed. Because if we go across here, we are going to need to separate these 2 either here or here, and if we've gone across here we can't do that. So do you know what? I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to make these red. I mean, I suppose they're not strictly red because it could come out further technically, but I don't see why it would. And we're going to pop those in red. So I'm feeling kind of confident about those. Sharing is caring. Now, as discussed before, we have got these 2 here, which require separation here, here, or here. And you can't do these 2. So I reckon it's got to be at least that. Now, these 2 need separating, which means it needs a line here. Nah, wait, hang on. So if we draw... So that would put a line there. Yeah, because the reflection is... Right. Oh, did I get my reflection in the wrong place? Is that where I messed that up, my thinking? Because I was thinking it would imply a line there. Yeah, I think I was wrong. So we could do that. Then these need separating though. So that's not super great. We could do that. Just now thinking, actually, if we did go all the way out here on this loop, that could separate that quite nicely. If we did that instead, then separating these would be a bit of a problem suddenly. Yeah, I'm not sure we have the space to use up all of that extra distance. Like, I'm fairly happy with the need to separate these two having to be a line here. Separating these two is going to require either, well, it could be a line here or a line here. Probably needed external visual aids for a few puzzles with composited solutions, like in the desert where you only get separate segments. Oh, I've not been to the desert yet. There's one colour-based puzzle in the town I've not encountered yet. Okay, setup looks neat, thank you. The thing I am most happy with, which I shamelessly stole from Nutty, is the drop shadow around the webcam, to make the webcam look like slightly separate. And I downloaded a plugin to do like animated transitions, so I was pleased with that as well. But like none of that, I didn't do any of that. Like that's all just shamelessly stolen from other streamers. So, okay. There's you might want to separate these across this boundary here. If you separate these across this boundary here, you could join these up like that. This is getting very dangerous though, because you can't ever actually cut off the middle, so that's not going to separate correctly. So it kind of feels more like you want to separate these that way. So maybe those are wrong and we're going like that instead, in which case these need to be separated again later, these two. Fair. No, yeah, it's alright. I mean, like, yeah, I'm trying to keep as spoiler-free as possible, so I have been sort of lurking in the subreddit a little bit, but I've not been reading. So the big sticky at the top of the subreddit is like, don't read this subreddit unless you know what the black obelisks do, which I don't, so I've not been trying to read too much, but you know, I joined the subreddit a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to share like the solution to the castle problem I did, which I was really happy with. Yeah, but aside from that, so I've been trying to avoid any spoilers on that subreddit, certainly. I am looking forward to beating the game, because once I beat the game, I unlock the subreddit, right? And it's the same with Outer Wilds. Like, I joined... In the end with Outer Wilds, I ended up being stuck on, like, the final puzzle of the game for about 5 hours. like literally not knowing what to do, like what I was doing wrong. So I had to go to the subreddit to ask for a hint. But since I've been on there, I have found that I certainly am not the only one that literally got that stuck on that puzzle, because it's probably about once every couple of weeks, or at one stage it was about once every couple of weeks. It's kind of slowly petered out now. Discovering the Black Obelisk mechanics, holy shit, fair enough. Yeah, the Outer Wilds subreddit is petering out a little bit now as the game gets older and fewer people are playing it. But it was definitely a phase where, like, once every couple of weeks, someone would post in there being like, "This puzzle, how do I solve it?" Like, because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So it doesn't feel so bad if you're in good company, having not been able to solve a puzzle. But I don't know. Have you ever played Outer Wilds? I would give it a high recommend if you have not. Fair. Well, I would give it a high recommend. I would. So, yeah, so we're happy with this one because this separates these two, and we can't separate these two here. What if we went down and down? How are we then going to separate these two then, though? Right, because we need either a line across here or a line across here. The thing is, if we are fairly sure about this red one to separate these two, then it means we can't really have a line across here unless you enter it from that direction. But if you enter it from that direction, how are you going to get out of here? Chat to you soon, Alpha Light. Do that, how are you going to get out of this area? So it's probably not that. But if you're going across here, yeah, I mean, that's not going to work. How are you going to separate these two? I wonder if my supposition on that bit is wrong. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Okay, hang on. So, new colour. Up and round and down. Up and round and down. And then in. Down. Oh, damn it, that's it. Alright, cool. No, wait. That's not it. We can cut off that corner. Ha! Oh my god, that took so long! That took so long! Oh my word. Yep, there we go. Bad initial assumption. Well, not initial assumption, I suppose, but, you know. It serves me right for drawing red lines where red lines should not go. Okay, so we do have red lines here and here. Now, if that's there, then that is there, same as before, so that's cool. Now, again, this is very likely to want to at least loop round. Okay. We're going to want to separate these two. Right, this is already looking quite similar. Yeah. So if we were to draw that there, that comes up to there. How are we going to separate these two, I hear you ask? Well, who knows, right? So what about a similar solution to last time? Never going to be a similar solution to last time, is it? Right, so we loop round like that. That involves going around like that, around like that, and down like that. How are we going to separate these two? Well, that's going to be a problem if we go down like that. Yeah. But then how are we going to separate these two? So let's have a think about these three here. We could draw a line like that to separate them. That's fine, because then this could loop like that. So potentially we might be looking at a shape like this. In which case that's a kind of a... That's a kind of this thing that's going on here. Could even extend that one further. And in fact, I think that might be it. Yeah. Oh my god, Alpha Light missed me solving it! No! Alpha Light! Okay, never mind. Right, so we got a door open in the windmill. Let's go check it out. We might at this stage go to the docks. Where is windmill? Here is windmill. Oh, okay, right. So windmill is something that you work your way up to. I see. Aha. Ah, right, so we want to do a thing in a church first. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Here's an interesting one. This is quite small. This is very small, a 3x3. Like, you could literally brute force your way through this. But these large puzzles tend to be some kind of environment. Oh, you're back! You literally just missed me. Do the thing. I did the final two whilst you were away. I was really excited, and then yeah. So we've opened up. What we've done is we've opened up a door on the first floor of this guy. So then I'm looking at this. So I'm actually figuring, okay, well the village, you are gradually opening up doors up this tower. So the bottom door is this one, and I was thinking, okay, well maybe we open up the bottom door, and then check out like next bit of maybe go back to the turbines, or maybe go back to the spiky circles. About the same solution you had. Fair. This is an interesting one, because from up here you can sort of see the solution to a puzzle with that black wall. It doesn't quite look like the one at the bottom of this building, in honesty, because that looks like it would need a 4x4 grid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that looks like it would need a 4x4 grid. And the one at the bottom of this building is a 3x3. But these large puzzles tend to be something in the environment that you're supposed to look at and go, ah. And often it involves kind of lining something up as well. It would seem natural for it to be at the top of the tower in the same building though. So I wonder if it is something like this. Yeah, no, you don't have enough paths. I mean, it's very wiggly. We could just try and go for maximum wiggle. It would be sort of something like this and this and this. Yeah, no, you can't wiggle that way. You'd sort of wiggle it like that, I suppose. But that's not the... We'll wiggle it like that. It's not the appropriate amount of wiggle, though. You could wiggle it the other way. Yeah, I don't know if I'm missing something obvious or if that's related to a different puzzle. I mean, it kind of feels like it's not the... It kind of feels like it's not quite the right size. It doesn't really fit fully on the screen here, but... This feels kind of like... It comes out and in, then out, and then round the corner. Can I move it still? No. Stupid paint. Sort of comes out and in and across and out, but then zigzags. So I think you need a 4x4 to do this. Okay, I'll pontificate over that another time because we're not completing the village today. I think for today let's go to the quarry and learn about turbines. Oh yeah, pontificate is a great word. You know, get that really deep thought in. So quarry, I did open up the shortcut to. It's sort of over there somewhere. So we did that laser. That one was alright. It's not a very commonly used word, I will admit that. I don't really know where I picked it up from. It's just one of those things. So I did that one. That one was a pretty easy puzzle. And we ended up with this one as the first one. So there's only a certain number of ways this can go. Can't be that, and it's not that. Could be that, but it's not that. Could be that, but it's not that either. Wait a minute, hang on. Did I just miss an obvious solution? Wait, hang on. I'm assuming you still have to go through the black X. So you can go 1. You got... Oh, I missed the edges. Nope. No. No. So those are... Oh. Or that one, no. Or that one, no. Wait a minute. Okay, that's making them flash, which is... So I ignore the black hexes? Well, that made that one flash and disappear. Oh. So this one flashed and disappeared, these ones flashed and stayed there. Is this changing something in the environment? Because when I did that one, this ramp opened up. And this is obviously the start of a puzzle with the light reflections there. Oh god, I've got coloured squares over there. So this time that one disappeared. Still disappeared. Wait, hang on. So it feels like it's going to be territory based. It feels like the ones that are disappearing are on the same side of the line as the turbine. Fine. So what happens if the ones that are disappearing are on the same side as the turbine? So you want them to all disappear? Because this was completed. Okay, that's not a solution. Right. it that the turbine will knock out one hex for you? The turbine allows you to ignore one black hex. I get it. There we go. Okie dokie. No turbine on this one at all. Wait. What? That's kind of strange. No turbine on this one. This is also requiring you to go down certain paths as well, which is a little bit unusual. So, like, you clearly have to start there, you clearly have to continue there. Yeah, so you got to do these two. Unless I'm missing something because these are actually grey and not... Wait, hang on, did I just miss a really obvious solution? Is that not totally fine? Yeah, okay. Right, and then this one's same puzzle again, but now it's a bit different because we need to have a black hex ignored, but only one black hex ignored. Makes me feel like no, can't do that because that's gonna could do no. Yeah, because if you cut it, it's not gonna work. Yeah, it just kind of feels natural to try and work back in that regard. But I mean, different people are going to approach this kind of problem solving in totally different ways. Absolutely agree. This ignore a hex question. Streams to the witness. People don't do that. Really? Do you know what? I mean, obviously, I've never watched anyone stream this game, but I will have to make sure that I do check that out. Do you know what, though? Like, I mean, one of these things... Playing a game like this is a little bit bittersweet, though, because once you figure out the solution, you can never forget it, right? And so... When you enjoy puzzle games like this, you get to experience them for the first time, like, basically once. And so as you... Yeah, absolutely. Like, I really enjoyed the Talos principle, for example. I thought that was a really well put together puzzler. Like, it wasn't particularly innovative, it was very much kind of redirect a laser beam into a thing. And how many times have we done that puzzle before? But I really liked the environment and the world and the narrative and the story for what it was. I thought it was really strong. But it's also a game with like zero replayability because you've got those puzzle solutions kind of locked away in the back of your head. This game is that, like, dialed up to 11, definitely, because this revolves so much around. Whereas Talos Principle, it's obvious what you're trying to do. You're more often than not trying to get a laser beam into a thing, and you're not sure how. This game is a lot more about trying to understand the question you're being asked. And yeah, so it is kind of... It's going to be hard to complete a game like this. 100%ing it if you're a masochist. Yeah, I mean, Talos Principle also had a secret 100% mode, but only if you're kind of crazy thing that it had going. Because there was sort of puzzles within a puzzle where, like, in the environment outside the puzzle areas, there were some clues for things you could do, and it involved sort of shooting a laser beam so that it left the puzzle zone, and then it could be picked up by a different puzzle somewhere else in the map. And yeah, and those were really kind of crazy, definitely. It definitely shows you, like, how much restraint the puzzle designers are actually putting into things when they do stuff like that, because you know that they could have made their game way harder if they wanted to. I mean, the guys who develop puzzle games, man, they are seriously smart guys. I don't know. Okay. I think we still have to start with this one, right? Because I don't think there's any way that you could draw a line such that that and that end up as the only lines that you've not crossed without cutting it across anyway. So I think starting here is still pretty unambiguous. In terms of finishing, I think we're either going to end up with something where we end up with these two linking together, or something where we end up with these two linking together. Because, you know, I don't think you can link those without linking that one? Question mark? I suppose you can, because you could end up with a path that did something like that, I suppose. So that's certainly one to consider and try and eliminate if possible. That prevents us using that path though. Of course it could be something like that, but then we don't have that path. It could be something like that, but then we don't have that path and that path. So it kind of feels like it's not going to be that, in honesty. Like, yeah, I just don't see how you'd do that. So it feels like that and that might be the ones that are linked to each other. That does pose a little bit of a problem though, because how do you do that path and that path together? Because you kind of need to, if this is where we're starting, we need to exit on that side. Right? If we're exiting on that side, that means we need to exit this one on that side. Which means we are kind of coming round here anyway. Like, I'm assuming the turbine is not optional. Unless the point of this learning is to figure out that it is optional. No, it's not optional. So... and I'm pretty sure... well, yeah, I mean, that's going to leave that one in a dead end anyway. So I think we're pretty happy with that being a starting position. And that does feel like natural continuation. So these two being linked, I think, is actually really hard. And these two being linked, I think, is quite impossible. So we could do a loop around here. But then how do we do all of these paths? Yep, every node can only have 2 exits. we go. That'll work. Nice. Okay, so this will be some kind of mechanical something that does something. Because it's... Music drowns me out. Oh, okay. Let me just go and adjust the levels there then. That should be a bit better. Oh, I think we've ended up in a different album again. Let's go stick the lo-fi album back on. How do I just get it to just repeat this album? There we go. Let's go with that. I mean, the point of the music is just to be sort of ambience for the stream. Okay, lift going up. I presume this is lift go up, lift go down. Yeah, okay, so we want lift go. Oh no! What? Why is that changed? Okay, maybe I just have to understand what it feels like. And some rocks, always good fun. Some incredibly detailed masonry work there. Right, okay. Are we going to learn about coloured squares now? This is presumably going to get this stairway down. Oh, that's interesting. Cool, turbine allows you to ignore one colour, that's nice. What's that thing?
What is divine in man is elusive and impalpable, and he is easily tempted to embody it in a concrete form, a church, a country, a social system, a leader, so that he may realize it with less effort and serve it with more profit. Yet, the attempt to externalize the kingdom of heaven in a temporal shape must end in disaster. It cannot be created by charters or constitutions, nor established by arms. Those who seek for it alone will reach it together, and those who seek it in company will perish by themselves. Hugh Kingsmill, 1944.
Okay. I don't really know the significance of that, honestly, but... Oh, red ones can't be ignored? Now that you pretty much know the turbine mechanic, you'd like to inform me that the angled platform is consistent with the mechanic. Is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, you're right, because it has 3 hexes on it. That's an odd one. So it can't do it with red? Aha, right, okay. These are audio logs, extremely pretentious. Yeah, I was kind of getting that. Like, so was it the last session or the session before? So you know when you get first out of the tutorial area and you come across on the left-hand side of the path what looks like the bunker out of Jurassic Park, and it has a big puzzle on it, and this is territory. It's white and black squares, and it's black hexagons. Okay, and I solved that one, got inside, and there's a piece of paper in there with a hexagon puzzle on it. So I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. Then later, I found an underground bunker, and that has the hexagon on it. Put the hexagon puzzle in, and what I got was a piece of a 1978 BBC documentary that was a bit like, what? Okay. So yeah, like I have no idea what that was about really. Right, that can just go around the edge. That can mostly go around the edge. This one can do... wait a minute. This one a little bit harder. Does this really all need to be different territory? Yeah, okay. We're not getting that bit correct. I mean, not that I'm necessarily against pretentiousness in video games, of course. I mean, the Talos Principle has a healthy dose of pretentiousness to it. But I think it has to serve the narrative in some way. And maybe it will, still. I mean, there's enough in the witness which I do not understand yet. Good game designer, but he's fairly pretentious. You get a sense of that in Braid as well. Do you know what? Braid, I kind of feel like I want to come back to Braid. Because Braid, I got most of the way with Braid, and then gave up on it because it was I just found it too hard. I got stuck. I feel now I could have another go at Braid and maybe beat it this time. Here's a thing. If you really do have to have the red and the green in different territories to each other, you're going to need to draw a line around this like that. Okay, but how are you then going to separate these two? So this one has got to be the one that links with this. So you could draw around here. Okay, so you could draw around here. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. We're close, we are close. Something like this. Very nearly. Nearly. What else has Jonathan Blow done, except for this and Braid? Have you tried Return of the Obra Dinn, incidentally? That's one which is often forgotten about, but is a really solid puzzler as well. Yeah, I wasn't... do you know what? In honesty, I literally can't remember what Braid is about. We could do a bit of looping. No, that's not gonna work. You're currently playing Obra Dinn. Oh, nice. Yeah, enjoy. That is solid. Again, it's another puzzle game with zero replayability, I suppose, unless you don't 100% it. It's totally possible to 100% that on its first playthrough. Like the 100% run is not ridiculous. 39 for 60, cool. Just turn that music down slightly again. Yeah, no, Return of the Obra Dinn. Oh, I love that game so much. Oh, I feel like the answer to this should be slightly more forthcoming to me. So we have to have a line here, right? That's the bit that I've forgotten to put down. And we're going to need to separate these two. Only 2 nodes allowed per exit. Only 2 lines allowed per node. So that means we are almost priced into doing this, right? Because that's got to go here. Yeah, we're priced into that. This cannot be done. So that means we're going to either end up here or here from this one, which means it's sort of got to go to the end. So I'm going to chat of another stream, mention the game, met up with friends, one sold me on the game. Maxed charisma stat. Is he a salesman? So this is then tricky, because then how do I get from these nodes back down to here? Because this is now this guy's now a bit stuck. Oh no, wait, this guy could totally handle this lad over here. But then where does this line go? Oh. It's always good to get good game recommendations, though. I'll need a strong recommendation of what to play after this one. I'm thinking Heaven's Vault. I've heard good things about that, although I've heard the travelling to other solar systems mechanic, like the spaceship mechanic, is really janky and horrible, and I've also heard that that the game focuses a lot on the story rather than on the puzzles, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, of course. But do you know what? I've realised maybe I've made a critical error in my thinking here, right? Because we could totally draw around that one, right, and draw around this one and leave that one for the turbine, because that totally works. Critical assumption error. Right, on to the next one. Serves me right for drawing red lines where red lines do not necessarily exist. These turbine puzzles are really interesting, because it means that my usual method of draw a line somewhere where you know a path has to go kind of falls apart, because you're now into a realm where even if you need to separate things in between territories, you can't necessarily be sure that the line is there. So again, in this one, right, if we draw out the paths, the turbine could be for that one, it could loop to that one via that path, or that one. So it's kind of unclear at first glance which of these is going to be the one that it connects to. I like the solution to the last puzzle though, because the last puzzle gives you a very strong, yeah, it does not have to be adjacent kind of thinking. Now, my puzzle designer gut tells me that if last time, right, my puzzle designer gut tells me that, again, it's got to be one of these two that the turbine is talking to, right? Because you can't draw a line that will simultaneously cut that and that. Googling up Jonathan Blow's only released Braid and the Witness. I heard about Braid HD remake. The search also said that he's working on a new game currently and has teased some screenshots. Okay. Yeah, I mean, The Witness is 2015, I suppose, and I heard that this game was in development for like 7 years or something. So maybe we are overdue for another one. I don't know. Okay, I think I see the solution to this one. I think it's this one. Cool. Oh, it's getting real now. We've got different colours. Alright. Let's learn about some different colours. Okay. Does it matter which colour I make available? The answer appears to be no. Oh, but that's interesting. It kind of didn't like the fact that I took a green one away. Oh, green. Oh, it still has to be in its own territory. Okay. That's fine, I guess. I mean, that means we can do something like this. No. So green and blue still have to be separated from each other, but then why aren't the blues flashing? Like if I instead of something like that. Right, okay, I see. Yeah, so he did that kind of classic career path of do game development, set up own indie studio, make, you know, great game. That's fair. Ah, we can do this, right? And we now have... Oof, that is a monster. That's a monster. Oh, do you know what? Not today. We're going to save that one for next week. Let's see about doing this one. Can we ignore a hex and a square at the same time? That's an interesting question. It's the same panel you described earlier from the beginning of the game, but with one turbine. Oh, hey, it is! Yeah. Yeah, you're right, it is. Cool. I mean, that obviously, that significantly affects the reasoning against it though, because whereas before I could say, well, you know, can't start here because you can't simultaneously go out of both of those nodes. Can't start here because you need to do that one and that one. You very quickly, you know, can't start here because it's not exactly the same panel because the starting place of the last puzzle isn't actually available here, because you knock out these various starting locations by realizing that you need to have a pass through. Okay, so where do we go with this? I mean, that seems like a pretty fun way of doing it, but not going to work. So one panel had a starting point below and to the right of the turbine. Yes, I believe it was something like that. Yeah. I mean, am I allowed to ignore a hex and a tile, or is it one or the other? It's an interesting question. I mean, if you can ignore a hex, coming through here, like cutting these off into separate territories is sort of pretty straightforward in a way. Like, it sort of feels like if we just need to ignore one hex, we can do that. Oh no, not like that. We can do that with something like this. That's powered on both. We're going into a vent and we're going out to a door. Oh, there's a door there that I didn't even see. So we've got power going out the window. We've got a door there. Yeah, okay, I've been up here before. Oh man. Oh, we're going to get a laser. We're going to get a laser. I really want a laser today. So that's... okay. Up. Okie dokie. Down. Oh, it's a lift. Oh, it takes you to the top quickly. I'm not 100% sure I necessarily... maybe I should have followed the other wire. Yeah, this is the... well, I don't know. This or the Mass Effect lift. What would you rather be stuck in? Especially seeing as there's literally some stairs right there. It's going to be faster to just do it manually. I know that there's a laser box on the other side of this quarry. Yeah, stairs. I guess, because we had to solve a puzzle to get those stairs down, didn't we? So maybe it's a little bit of a, hey, you know, if you solve this puzzle, you get to... Wait, no, hang on. I didn't need those stairs anyway. It's out the back of here. Right. Okay, so that's powering the lift. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. We have also powered those. We've powered this, we've powered this. This is laser. Yeah. Alright, alright, alright. No! It's only got half the puzzle! Oh no, it's in the woodshed. Damn it. Okay, how many puzzles have we got in the woodshed? Let's have a look. Wait, hang on. How do I get down from here again? Right, yeah, it's these stairs here. So close. How much stuff have we got to do in here? So we've got some things here which we probably can solve. Do you know what we totally didn't use in the other room? We didn't use the fact that the light on the floor blatantly makes some kind of puzzle clue. Right, so this wire is going to power. So that's up there. We need to go up there, up there, up there, up there. Oh man, is it really a case of we have to solve these to do it? I mean, the one on the right we can do pretty easily, I would imagine. It's going to be something like... So that has to stay straight. This can rotate. To fit these two pieces, so because these are next to each other, they are going to have to turn into one shape. The only way they're going to fit next to each other in a sensible way is for something like that, but obviously because of that break it can't be that way round. Could be like that, so we go up, yeah, that's fine. So we go up like this. Wait, no, hang on. Yes, up like that, like that. But of course it has to actually contain the shapes that we want. So flip it upside down. Does that work? No, that won't actually work. But it... Yeah, no, it's got to contain the shapes that you want to have in it. It's going to be something like that. It's going to be something like this, but with this shape here. But that's obviously broken, so it can't be exactly that. Oh, it would help, of course, if I was actually... would help, of course, if I actually had the correct size for my T-shaped piece as well. Because the T-shaped piece is actually 2. So it's that size. So that can't work. That could still work though. Yeah, okay. I just had the wrong size piece. Oh no, wait, no, it's still not inside the shape. Come on, get your head in the game. I might have to stop soon because I've been doing this for 2 hours now, and I think I'm reaching my limit. Okay. Could also be rotated to be that way round. But that is going to cause us a problem with putting that there. Could put it... No. No. They have to contain. They have to contain. Is that doable? Not with that break, it isn't. It's an interesting one, for sure. Like, that's also not going to work, right? So that would have to be there. No, that would work. Yeah, that would work. Oh, do we need both? Oh, we need both. Okay. Well, do you know what? I am going to call time there because, you know, I've been at this for a couple of hours. I'm starting to actually get tired. But it's been cool hanging out with you, Alpha Light. I hope you enjoyed the stream. But yeah, I try and stream this every Sunday morning. You know, Sunday mornings tend to be a pretty good time to fit in a couple of hours of video games. So if you're free next Sunday morning, come down and yeah, we'll hang out again. Alright, cool. So I'm going to save that up there, and I believe the game just auto-saves anyway, right? So with that, I think I'll just end the stream. But it's been cool hanging out. Catch up with you soon.